normally the way people paint mental health is on the negative. Mental health is something we are born with. It's just like physical health.
Yeah.
So basically, the moment you're born, you're mentally healthy until you're not. Yeah, so the challenges that I've seen, especially around women, around mothers, have been centered mainly around relationships. Those first months between the first month and the sixth month are...
The first month, okay, I beg to differ because
the first day,
19 years later, they're still relying on but God. Welcome to the Empowerment Lounge with me, Caroline, the Mom Empowerer. I hope you're all keeping well and life is treating you real good. So today in the lounge, I have the honor of having Grace Linda with me. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Carol.
Yes, it's good to see you and thank you for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome. So what Grace Linda is going to share with us today is really, really important to us as moms who also have careers as well, because life is hustle, it's bustle. So I thought it fit to have Grace Linda with us here today just to share a bit more on what we like to call mental health. But before we start, I'd like Grace Linda to just introduce herself to us, tell us a bit about yourself, and really so that we can get into what it is that we would like to share today.
Okay. So my name is Grace Linda Nabatanzi. Most people know, there are actually 4 names, Grace Linda Nabatanzi Baiga.
Okay.
But most people, social media knows Grace Linda. I think it's easier.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a mental health consultant. I've done this work since 2016, shy of 2017. Yeah. I run a counseling firm called Beautiful Aspirations, SMC Limited, based in Nakasero, just after Nakasero Hospital. I've had the privilege of working with different organizations, consulting with different organizations, Umeme, Stanbic Bank, Jubilee Health, Private Sector Foundation, MasterCard. There's so many. Yeah. In the corporate space, basically, centering on employee assistance programs, mainly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a good thing that you have your consultancy, but you've out there into the corporate world, into public sector, dealing with all sorts of people out there. And I am very sure that you've come across moms who are in these spaces. They are wanting to put their best selves forward, have their best version of themselves, and be successful at what it is that they are doing. But they also have the families where they want to do great as well. Everybody wants to be known as a successful mom because you're raising other human beings, which is like one of those, the highest that you can really achieve when you have raised 1, 2, 3, 4 human beings, right? And you are saying yes. So, but with being able to do this, I want you to just share with us, what are the struggles that you have seen? Because it's not that one day you wake up and, oh, I'm just raising these children, and before you know it, they're adults. It's a journey. So out of all the encounters that you've had, what is it that you have seen? What are those challenges that moms are facing out there, mental challenges? Let's talk about that.
I think before even we go into the challenges, maybe let's talk a bit about mental health.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so mental health is, normally the way people paint mental health is on the negative. Mental health is something we are born with. It's just like physical health. Yeah. So basically, the moment you're born, you're mentally healthy until you're not. Until you're not is brought about by the things you experience, the things you're exposed to, the things you encounter, especially the negative things. Basically, mental health is psychological well-being, emotional well-being, and mental well-being. It is basically dictates how we think, how we feel, and then later on how we act based on whatever has gone on in our lives. So mental ill health is what we are concentrating on today. Basically, the challenges paint mental ill health or mental illness or mental health struggles. Yeah, so the challenges that I've seen, especially around women, around mothers, have been centered mainly around relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have started with maybe depression because it's on the high, but depression there's a causal effect, there's a causal relationship between relationships and depression. So depression is at the end of the line, but what causes that depression?
Yes. How does somebody
Get to
yes.
this depressive state? Normally people come with, like how you go to hospital and yes, you say you have all these symptoms, but then when they finally test, they say, oh, you have malaria, plus. So depression is what I have seen mainly, but where does it start? It is centered around relationships. Anyone can come and say, I don't sleep well, I'm struggling to eat, I have lost my appetite, I'm losing weight at a very fast rate, or I'm eating more than I'm not interested in the things I used to be interested in. I'm socially withdrawn, I don't want to associate with other people. Yeah, all those are symptoms, but where does it start? So there's a struggle around relationships where, as a young child, you start to date. And when you date after school, even your parents are looking at you and they're thinking, okay, where is the gentleman that is going to marry you? When is the wedding? Society is looking at you like you're ripe.
Pressure.
You're ripe. There's pressure. That, okay, when is the wedding? When are you getting married? And after you get married, they're asking you for these children. Even when you attend these functions, people are looking at you, and when they see a slight change in weight,
you're glowing.
You're
there
glowing.
Must be something.
They start insinuating all these things. And then there's a struggle around balancing this relationship and then having a family, meaning having these children, and then your work, your career, your job, and then the relationship. Because normally they say the man is first the firstborn baby, then the other babies, then your job, your career, and everything else. Yeah. So these relationships become hard in such a way that sometimes the person you end up with is the person that was available. Not really the person you were meant to. Not the person that fits your values. Not the person that you would like for a lifelong partner. It's just that you were ripe, it was the right age, there was a lot of pressure, and this person was ready.
Right there.
Or most of the relationships or marriages happen because a girl got pregnant. A girl got pregnant and the parents said, you have to do the right thing. Marry her. Yeah. So what have I seen? The struggles are around relationships, and these relationship struggles have caused, of course, stress, anxiety, then depression. Yes.
In the mothers,
yes,
because of that history that you have given. You're
Yes.
done with school, so the pressure is there.
The pressure is
you
on.
have to go get married, find that man, otherwise they keep telling you, it's ticking. And there's that one right time for everybody. And yet that's not the case.
Yes.
We're all
and
different.
You see, getting pregnant, while it's, yes, on the man's side, it's the right thing to do to go to your parents, but what if it is the pregnancy that is making him or forcing him into this decision? Yeah? Because marrying you does not make the relationship work. It is just a commitment. It takes more work to make this relationship or this marriage work. Your values have to be aligned. There is so much that goes into making a marriage or a relationship work. But most importantly, by the time you commit to someone forever, for the rest of your life, you have to be sure that you want the same thing, and even if you don't want the same thing, that they're able to support you to get to where you want to go, and you support them to where they want to go, and you meet somewhere.
So there are certain things that you need to be very sure about, before you choose this life partner. You're not just saying, this is a person who happened to be there. Even if you're pregnant, that doesn't mean like lock, stock, and barrel, this is forever after. But unfortunately, in the world we live in, that's what it's like at the moment. Someone leaves university, even if you've gone to work, first, second year, you find yourself, you're going to have this baby. And the only logical, by the way, thing to do is to marry
Yes.
this person,
Yes.
you know, and for whatever reason it is, you found yourself, you know, pregnant, and then you have to marry this person. So fast forward, this person has 3 children, you've seen it happen, the relationships are the main issue. So I, as Caroline, as I sit here, I have a lot going on. I have the children, I have the husband, I have the relationships, I have the work, I have this, which I love what I'm doing right now. But if you were to speak to me and to the ladies and gentlemen who are listening, especially the moms, if I thought something was wrong, what is it that I need to look out for? You mentioned symptoms, you know, so just take us through that and how important it is for somebody to be self-aware all the time, because depression is at the end of it all. Yes, and I wouldn't want to let people get to depression. That's why we're here. We want to say, look, shift your mindset. It's okay to look out for these certain things that could actually show that you're on the path to depression. And then you'll let us know what is it that somebody can do about it. Because I know there's something that we can do about it.
Okay. So basically, let me go back to the moms, because that's why we are here. So you are a new mom, or maybe not a new mom, but you have babies and kids. And we normally underestimate the magnitude of that change, because as a new mom, it is an emotional experience. Motherhood is an emotional experience. The first time you give birth to another human being, you're there's a quote I saw where someone said, it's basically your heart moving around, you know, on its own, out of your body, So we underestimate the motherhood experience, especially as a first-time mother, because it's an emotional. The other thing is we underestimate the physical trauma that the body takes. That's why it's called labor.
It's just clicking now that, actually,
Yes, that's why it's called labor. You know, when you normally, you say someone gave birth or they delivered a baby, there are people asking, normal birth or cesarean? It does not matter. It was labor. The body takes a physical beating to go through that process of delivering and bringing a child into this world. Number 3, your life will never be the same again. Your body will take on a shape of its own.
Oh, yes, it does.
So basically, you look different, your size is different, your likes are different. You'll be isolated because your timetable has shifted or changed from that of your friends. If you used to like to go out Friday, you can't. Because you have a person who is relying on you.
For everything.
For everything. Those first months between the first month and the 6th month.
The first month, okay. I beg to differ because
the first day,
19 years later, they're still relying on me, but go on.
Motherhood is an emotional experience, meaning from the time you conceive to the time you go into delivering your child, all that takes away from you. It takes away from you time, it takes away from you habits, it takes away from you behavior, it takes away from you social circle. So there's a lot of change that happens around having a child or becoming a mother or just, you know, parenting. So some of the things that you should look out for is, number 1, there is the anxieties that come with the things that you don't know, the unknown. Because being a new parent, there's a lot that you don't know. I want to speak so much into the people that gave birth, but you didn't have your mom to hold your hand throughout the process. Because, you know, it always helps when someone has treaded in this, you know, walked the same path, walked the same journey, to just show you a few things that they could save you a few mistakes.
Very true.
From my experience, my mom was not around. She lives in a different country. And it's not that I didn't have the support, but I would have preferred her presence. I would have preferred her to be there. So, number 1, this whole thing of the uncertainties, the anxieties of, it will send different emotions to you. You may be angry, you may be irritable, you may be You might cry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I had a few tears. Okay, not a few, a whole bucket of tears.
Yeah.
From the time I conceived my first child, almost through my pregnancy, I would cry through the different things that I didn't know how to do, that I made mistakes on, the things that I didn't know what the child would be like,
Yes.
or even how I would balance it all. So anxieties, definitely you will cry, your emotions will be stretched and tested. I call it, being in the trenches where sometimes you can't even express what you're feeling, but you're feeling all sorts of things. And then sometimes you don't even know what to do about it. Yeah, because imagine if you can't express what you're feeling, how will you know what to do about it?
And even the people around you won't know what you need.
Want to know how to help you. Because some people think that as long as you have a nanny,
it's all...
everything is done. But then there are other details that the nanny will not take care of. The nanny will take away the baby from you for a few minutes, a few hours. And then you will go to sleep, but you'll fail to sleep. Yeah? So anyway, the things to look out for is, number one, if you're feeling tired, even after you're rested. Let's say you go to sleep, but wake up fatigued. That is a telltale sign of something may be. Because if you're not getting the rest that you are supposed to get. Number two, if you're irritable, you're not understanding why you're reacting to certain things the way you are reacting. There is a difference between responding and reacting.
Yes.
Normally when people say, this person's overreacting, yeah, it means that the action does not match the preceding reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number three, if you feel like you're not interested in the things that you used to be interested in. For instance, there are things that will not be changed by time.
Yeah.
If you're an outgoing person, even after delivery, even in your pregnancy, you will definitely go out. But if you find that time, it's completely, a drastic change of, I don't want to go out, I don't want to hang out, I don't want to see people. You may not want to hang out, but you may invite people over.
Yes, that's true. They come to you
They
and
come
give
to
you the
you.
joy, whatever it is you used to get.
Because the
from
whole
them.
point is actually
Being together.
Being together.
Yeah.
So if you cut all that, you're not going out, but also you're not allowing people to, you're socially withdrawing intentionally, and you're isolating yourself. What else? If you're not sleeping, let's say you go to bed, but you fail to fall asleep, or you don't easily fall asleep. Or when you fall asleep, you don't easily get back. When you wake up, you can't easily go back to sleep. Or even when you sleep, it's not restful sleep. You're talking, you're kicking, basically, your body is not resting. Your brain is not shutting down. Those are some of the things that you could look out for. What else? Even the way you communicate, yeah? You could find that instead of expressing yourself, you're just, you shut down.
Nothing is moving you. There's so much going on around you, and it's supposed to elicit certain reactions. But...
And there is nothing. There is something we call blunted affect, where someone is emotionless. Let's say someone... something could happen, maybe like loss, maybe announcement of a death, and you find that this person is not showing any, whether sadness or they're just not emotional. Yeah? Then there is sadness. If you can't explain why you're sad, sadness is a normal emotion.
Yes.
Unlike what we've been told. If something wrong or bad happens, if you're disappointed, frustrated, it is okay for you to feel sad. However, if you can't explain this sadness, you can't pinpoint the reason why you are sad, and there is probably a certain emptiness, you're feeling like this void cannot be filled, definitely there's something wrong. Those are the things you should look out for.
Okay. Okay. And thank you for sharing those things that you should look out for, because from my experience, like being a mom, sometimes we think these things come with being a mom. We've talked about maybe the shape of your body has changed. You're not taking very good care of yourself like you used to. You don't have time to go and work on the hair, on the nails and everything. And you think it's okay to be isolated for like 6 months. People are isolated in their own space, and some people think this is okay to feel this way because I'm a new mom. Even when I sleep, I can't completely sleep. What if the baby? What if the baby? And yet, when you're tired, you're supposed to actually sleep, even though it's for 2 hours, but you're completely in that state of deep sleep. So I like that you have shared all these things that we should be looking out for, which we might think are normal, but they're actually not normal. And that's the thing is, if I realize that this is what is happening to me, out of all the 6 or 7 symptoms you've shared, I'm going through like 5 of them. And I'm aware of these things because either I'm a new mom or the fact that I have toddlers and I've gone back to work and I'm juggling all these things together. So I realize that this is not a good place that I'm in. What is it that you would advise me to do from there? Because sometimes we don't know where to go. You know, oh, and people always think, oh, by the time you're seeking for a counselor or you're going to therapy, like you're a gone case, you're finished. You don't even want to tell anybody that you're thinking of going to see a counselor or something like that. So what would you say to that?
Number one, we have to appreciate where we've come from, because mental health was really not on the scene of Uganda or Africa. In fact, counselors were only found in church or among elders in the family. Yeah. So there's a lot of stigma that surrounds therapy. And the therapy we're talking about is psychotherapy, talk therapy. If you can sit down and talk to your friend, while it's a conversation, it's exactly what happens in psychotherapy, in counseling. So why are you feeling ashamed about that? If anything, you're telling a stranger about your struggles and they don't know you. They will not be able to judge you, or they'll not be biased in their advice. So we appreciate that. For someone to seek counseling, people think that it's your gone case. If anything, I would advise people, whatever change you're going through. If you're a mother, a new mom, and you're taking on a new job, or leaving your job, or going on leave, or expecting a new baby, or expecting twins, or you lost a child sometime, it is a change. You need to have a therapist on a speed dial that you can call and have a conversation around that change. What does that conversation help you do? It helps you do like a mental process around the things that you anticipate to happen, the hopes that you have, the expectations that will change, and then the things that will change you as you get to wherever you want to
go.
So going back to your question, what was it?
The question is, no, it's okay. I know there's so much going on in your mind and, given the industry that you're in at the end of the day. I was just saying that what would you advise somebody to do? Okay.
I like to think that there are so many people who have, gone through the things we've gone through. So do not underestimate the power of an emotional support system. An emotional support system is made up of people you trust. Instead of having a board meeting in your head of what you should do, express yourself, share your feelings, tell your best friend. If you don't have them, tell your sister. Among the siblings, there's someone you're closer to. Talk to them. If you can't do that, talk to your parent, if it's the dad, if it's the mom. If you don't have them, there is always someone you can talk to. You can talk to your partner. If you're a single parent and you don't have, if you're divorced or separated, if your spouse is not there, and probably they'll not maybe listen to your emotional needs, there is always someone in your circle that reach out to your friends, family, close people for emotional support. Emotional support meaning they will be able to understand why you're feeling certain things and allow you the space to feel all your feelings. Meaning emotional space. They create that emotional space, emotional cover, and that way you build emotional resilience. Number 2, do not underestimate the power of physical support system. The physical support system is the people that work for you, the people that will work to make your life experience ease. That is the nanny. The nanny. Pay that nanny well. If that nanny wants time off, give them time off. You askari. Do not underestimate the askari. Recently, my nanny left
Yeah.
I'd been with her for 5 years almost. And I can tell you that it's the askari that has been picking up the slack.
Wow.
Go to the shop, sweep there,
Yes.
mop there. It
Because
is
you
him
have a good relationship
with the
him.
askari. That is your physical support system.
Yes.
Physical support system could be your neighbors. Where will you leave your children when they call you that, we thought that your leave ends on this day, but instead we want you to come in on this day.
Yes.
That is abrupt. That is drastic. What do you do?
Yes.
If you have a good neighbor, it will be okay for you
3-4 hours.
3-4 hours,
The children.
they will watch the children. If you have an emergency, they will be able to come to your aid.
Yes.
That is your physical support.
Yeah.
Even your border guy, your judge guy,
Yes.
that is your physical support system.
Yes.
Now, there is also the financial support system.
We need to
So
do
while
that.
you're a new mom, you need to keep your job.
Yes.
Yeah? While you're parenting, your toddler is sick, bacterial infections are like bacterial infections. When kids go back to school, we just know that at a certain point, it is time for us to be in hospital at night. If they swim, we shall be in hospital in the night. Yeah. But the financial support system is where you get your livelihood, where you get your income, your revenue, your salary, your business. Yeah? The financial support. Be on good terms with your boss, your supervisor. If you're struggling with something, communicate it. Be clear on how you would want them to support you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that is very, very important. And that financial support system could stretch to your friends. If you borrow money, please refund it. Yeah. These days, friendships are getting, ruined because once I borrow money from you, I stop coming to the restaurant where I normally find you.
Yes.
I stop taking your calls. I also don't post and I block you on my status because then you will be seeing me enjoying my money, yet I've not given back your money.
And these things happen. That's the reality. That's your reality. So you have to have that in proper shape.
Yes.
The financial bit.
Yeah. Then have a career support system. Yeah, professional support system where, for instance, when you're a parent, there is so much that sometimes something has to give. And sometimes you end up either losing your job or losing interest in that job that you had or that role. Or sometimes you just can't. You don't have the head for it, the focus for it anymore. But who is there to support you in your career, to help you make the decisions, to see the light, to give you new perspective and say, you know what, I think you're good at this. These are your strengths. Despite the fact that you're parenting and you're struggling and you have 6 children, I think you're very good at this.
Yes.
Why
So
don't you
you're
try?
Able to drop certain things that you're trying your hand at, which are stressing you, and you concentrate
on
one career path.
Basically, they help you with the mental process around your career, what you're good at, where your strengths lie, what your weaknesses are. Work on one weakness, then push forward on one strength and see where that takes you. I think there's also the social support system.
Yes.
And the social support system is also made up of your friends. Your friends, the people who normally would invite you out. If you're feeling withdrawn, if you're feeling, we have friends for different things. I have a friend that I will call, she's in my day-to-day. I'll not mention her name, but she knows. She's in my day-to-day. I will call her for anything. For us who are self-employed, you know that sometimes you have a pipeline.
Yes.
And then the pipeline, this one promised you this contract is almost ending, and then somehow the pipeline just gets disorganized and everything doesn't work out. I will call her for that. If I need someone to pray with me, I will call her for that. If I have had a good day, good news, she's among the first people I will share with.
That news.
So, bottom line, as a new mother, as a parent who is trying to juggle, have and establish work-life balance, have an emotional support system, physical support system, financial support system, career support system. It is very important. And most importantly, feel your feelings. Give them space. Allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling in a moment. Understand why you're feeling it, and then figure out how you can be assisted, either to go away from that feeling or to deal. Normally, we run away from dealing. We don't like to deal. So, but dealing does not take away the problem. Not dealing does not take away the problem.
It's still there.
It stays, and it is so sad that it grows. We talked about depression, but where it starts from is stress, anxiety, and depression. At the end of it,
At the end of the day.
All.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And really, you've packaged it well. The different support systems that we need, there is the answer to the mental unwellness, to be able to get to that depression. We can avoid it. The message is the people you're surrounding yourself with, you know, and first of all, being self-aware and saying that I will not get to that level. So this is what I need to balance it out. Like I need the financial support.
And perhaps
should be well.
what we didn't do is describe what depression is.
Yes.
Basically,
yes,
depression is a
important.
mood disorder. It is a mood disorder, and it is this intense feeling of sadness and emptiness, where you feel like you have a void that you can't fill. You're sad, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
And then you lose completely interest in all the things that you found pleasurable, all the things that you used to love. I've seen people golfing. If you're golfing because you love it,
That's
and you
okay.
just stop,
Ah.
you have to investigate why have I lost interest in that. I'm not saying everything when you drop something and pick up a new habit, you're
It
depressed.
could be a new season.
No,
I
it could
mean,
be.
yeah.
It
You're
could be a
leaving
new
something
season.
for something else.
Yes.
You're saying.
However, if you're dropping all the things that you used to love, and somehow because you so this depression symptoms have to be together. They don't work in isolation. If I'm sad, but I'm still going out and
It's
having
normal,
a good time.
because that particular something maybe is making you sad.
Yes. However, if I'm experiencing at least 7 of these symptoms, chances are I need to investigate, why am I feeling like this? Why have I changed my routine to this? And remember that depression, when it's not diagnosed, when it's not treated, it definitely leads to suicide ideation, and then suicide attempt, and then successful suicide. We don't want to go there, but yes, depression is just a mood disorder. Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you went into describing it and what it can lead to, and suicide ideation, and then we've had those stories with people living around us, but sometimes we box them up because we don't want to go there, we don't want to investigate. But any of us, it looks like any of us can get there if we are not careful. So I really appreciate you being able to point these things out. First of all, what it is that we as mothers can do to ensure that we have all these support systems around us, because as you mentioned them, I realized it's possible to have all of them actually in place. It's just that sometimes we need to hear this out loud, just like you have said it, and I'm really glad that we are speaking about this. And I know that even the time that we've taken to speak about this is not giving everybody an answer out there. So just to let everybody know that we shall take this on we shall have a branch to follow this up, where we can have face-to-face, where you can share with Grace Linda, and she will be able to share more on where she's coming from, on what it is that we can do. So we look forward to seeing you. But other than that, thank you so much for coming in, for sharing this with us, because it's key right now. We need to watch out for our fellow moms. That's why I am happy that you accepted this invitation to come and speak to this very important topic. And I know that you have had an impact on somebody. Now somebody's thinking about their lives and their journey of motherhood, and where they are at, most importantly, and what it is that they can do to get themselves out of it, but also to take stock, to check everything off, that they have the support system that you talked about, and that the symptoms actually are not there. Or if it's one thing, then that's okay. But if they're checking off all the 7 or 8, then now they know that there's a problem. And I hope that they will be able to do something about it. So thank you so much for coming in. It's
Thank you for
most
having
appreciated. And we look forward to having more of you and even taking this further. So thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Yes, so this has been Caroline, the Mom Empower, with Grace Linda, and I hope that you've benefited from this. We'll see you later.